How would you like to live where you love in the state of Alabama? Whether it is you're upsizing, downsizing, retiring at the beach, or relocating for your job, then you are going to want to contact Celeste Hagler, owner of First Class Real Estate South Home Group, with brokers in Tuscaloosa, Orange Beach, and Huntsville. They can help you with the buying, selling, and investment needs throughout the state of Alabama. You can contact Celeste at 205-861-5698. Once again, that is 205-861-5698, and schedule a consultation to discuss your real estate goals anywhere across the state of Alabama. Jeff Bagwell of Honey Hole Fisheries right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, is a professional biologist who specializes in lake management. If you are interested in helping build the pond or lake of your dreams, or if you need help deciding if property you own is a good location to build a pond, you can contact Jeff Bagwell at 205-799-0192. Once again, that is Jeff Bagwell and Honey Hole Fisheries at 205-799-0192. Contact him today and let him help you build the lake or pond of your dreams, or also stock your pond or lake with fish that you most desperately need. It's a new year, and now is the best time to review your insurance policies. With a helpful customer service team here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha Insurance to create a customized plan to protect your family's home and autos. You can stop by his office at 3428 McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or simply call 205-462-8192, or call the number on your screen right there. And remember, with Alpha Insurance, the more you protect it, the more you save. Reach out to the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha today for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. And we're back! The Stingray Show took a 2-day hiatus as it was my birthday week, and so we did not do a show on Wednesday or yesterday. But hey, the Stingray Show is back. We are rejuvenated. It is Friday. It is excitement and the NFL playoffs. We've got 4 teams remaining, and today we are going to be talking about the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. But first off, I do want to apologize briefly because we are starting a little bit later this morning, and that is because our guest of Chris Myers is out on the West Coast, and he could only join us at 10 a.m. this morning, and thus the reason we are starting an hour later. And so occasionally, when our guest can't do 8:30 or 9, we will have to push the show to a later time, so we do apologize for that. But Chris Myers will be joining us here in about 30 minutes, actually 20 minutes from now, to talk about the NFC and the AFC Championship games. The 2 winners move on to the Super Bowl. Heath, how are things with you on this Friday morning?
Man, we're just waiting on the snow. I mean, snowpocalypse 2026 is here. I think we're all going to die. At least that's what the TV stations are telling us. Like the grocery store has been out of milk literally for like 3 days. It is insane here. Stephen, one of my neighbors, sweet lady, wonderful lady, beautiful mom, got into a scuffle over a gallon of milk at the K.
no.
Roger down the street, man.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what? People, this is just maybe snow that we're getting. Think if this was like a real life crisis.
Yeah.
Think if this was like the zombie apocalypse. Like people be killing each other and the Kroger and everything else. Folks done lost their mind when we mentioned snow in the state of Mississippi. It is insane. But hey, I live right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here in the suburbs of Memphis, here in Mississippi. And here's the crazy thing, Stephen. Folks can't drive in normal weather in Memphis. When it snows, man, this is free entertainment. Absolutely free entertainment. Can't wait to see all the videos from, well, it's fun to see all the videos daily of the Fools of Memphis driving. Can't wait to see them in the snow.
Heath, it would be okay if it was 1 to 2 inches of snow. Hernando, Mississippi is supposed to see 4 to 7 inches of snow. That is unprecedented for this area and especially your area. So, yeah, people are going off of the deep end for that. Now, people north of the Mason Dixon line make fun of us because up there they are known for their snow plows and how to, do and handle snow a lot better than us down here in the South because we hardly ever see a storm of this magnitude down here.
Well,
So I
you hear
do
all
understand it.
you hear all the people from up north that move south, and they realize, well, what are you going to do this? What are you going to do this to the roads? What about this? What are you going to? I'm like, we don't do any of that.
Nope.
And he's like, what do you mean you don't do any of that? And I'm like, we may or may not get snow this year. We may or not get snow for the next 5 years. We don't ever know when we're going to get snow. We could have 8 feet of it. We don't know.
Yeah.
And so they sit there. They quickly shut up and quickly apologize.
Yeah.
We're like, well, if you don't have the equipment, like I don't even want to get out there on the road. I'm like, oh, you're chicken. You're scared. Oh, poor Pookie. You don't want to get out in the snow and you're from Iowa. Oh, Pookie, I'm sorry. Come on now.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. But I do get one thing. People lose their mind when you mention snow anywhere in the Mid-South area. So what's that old joke? How many national championships does Alabama have now?
I've lost count.
Yeah, we've all lost count. Always love the little thing that someone always posts on Facebook or anywhere on social media. Tuscaloosa is reporting to get 2 inches of snow, but they're going to claim 16. And here we go. Here we go. Now we can say that about Auburn. Auburn's going to start claiming crazy national. We can say that about Oxford. You know, they've never finished 1 or 2 in a national poll, but yet they claim multiple national titles. Like, you never finished 1 or 2 in a poll. Like, how do you claim a title? So, it's a common thing that it's done in the SEC. We had a good year. You don't remember it. It's not on YouTube, so we're just going to claim it.
Heath, speaking of Oxford, and all joking aside, they are in that real narrow band from about Tupelo over to Oxford up to Holly Springs that could see, and I'm not making this up because this is from the National Weather Service in Memphis, 1 to 2 inches of ice. That is crippling. If you were there in a swath of northern Mississippi from Iuka over to Corinth, over to Holly Springs, down to Oxford and over to Tupelo of 1 to 2 inches of ice accumulation.
Well, a couple of things on that, Stephen. Hey, welcome to the weather show here on the 365 Network. No, we're the SEC show. We're just making fun of all the SEC teams and weather and how we go crazy in snow.
Yeah.
But a couple of things, Stephen. I've always heard, and we talked about this on the show, the difference between snow and ice is like 1 to 2 degrees or 3 degrees, something like that.
Yes.
The other thing is they're predicting another snowstorm for like next weekend. And I was like, really? This is going to happen? I figured you would know more about that. I mean, you do have a degree in meteorology.
But, madness, dude. Madness. Get this storm out of the way before you start worrying about the next one. Come on, man. It's like a football, dude. It's like a football thing, man. Stay focused on this game, this day, and then after this one, move on.
Yeah, we lost power because we were looking forward to that storm next week and instead of this week.
Oh my God, come on, man!
I got to eat all my milk sandwiches now. I got all this bread and milk here. And hey, Stephen, another thing that I want to throw out and have fun with. here this morning on our little SEC show. Someone's calling me already. Oh, it's my wife. We'll have to get that during the break, but um,
Well, you can mute and take it if you need to.
no, let me do that. Let me do this. The snow is coming, and I'll be back.
All right.
I'll disappear.
Snow apocalypse! Ah! All right, so guys, we do have a little bit of breaking news this morning in the world of college football. It was announced that earlier this morning that we are expected to get a announcement later today that the SEC and the Big Ten were not able to come to terms. So in 2026, we will be sticking with the 12-team format of the playoffs. So Petiti and Sankey were not able to come to an agreement on the 16 teams and the 24 team. So we will be sticking with the 12-team playoff more than likely for this season in college football. So that, of course, is the breaking news this morning about the college football playoffs.
That's bad. Oh, my mic. I didn't mean to unmute my mic. Sorry. Terrible news, Stephen. Terrible news. Everyone likes football. We rather have more than less of it.
Right.
This is. Why are we delaying the inevitable? And I think the answer is the SEC office. I think the SEC is the one screwing this up for every football fan in America. They screwed it up for SEC fans. They're screwing it up for everybody.
Because of their entitlement, because they feel like that they're the best conference. However, they've not won a championship in 3 seasons in college football. But yet they're still going, we're the best, we're the best. And if you won't bow down to us, we're not going to do it.
Well, the best ratings.
I think it's madness, man.
I mean, we do have the highest ratings, and we do sell the most merchandise, so I get it. We have the most eyeballs on TV sets because we love the sport. But the SEC is wrong. Not half wrong, a little wrong, mostly wrong. 100% you're at fault. Why are you so dumb wrong?
Right.
Yep. I feel like I'm talking to a teenage kid, a teenage boy. Like, can you not get this through your thick skull? Do I have to beat it in you? I mean, that's how the SEC office needs to be taught to. They are being idiotic. They're being childish. They're being stupid. Like, oh, business is business. The greed is good. Shut up. You're an idiot too if you want to defend this. This is insane, Stephen. This is insane of what the SEC office is doing. Extend the playoff and let's have more football. Stephen, let's just do common sense math here. 1 + 1 is what? That's right. So with that, do you have more of a chance to get in the playoff and make a run and win a national championship with less teams having the opportunity or more teams having the opportunity?
More.
Okay. Well, why don't we extend this playoff and we get some more teams in? I mean, how many teams did they say they wanted in this year? I mean, they wanted like Texas in there, and they wanted
7.
They said they wanted 7 teams. And how many teams did the SEC get in this year? 4? 5. All right. So those other 2 teams that you want in there, if you'd extended the playoff, you would have gotten 7 in there. And guess what? You would have had almost half the field. Almost half the field. And yet you're idiotic. I feel like I'm talking to a 14-year-old when I'm talking about the SEC office here. I mean, just get it through your thick skull. You don't know everything. I'm trying to tell you what's best. I'm trying to tell you what everyone will like. No, you're going to do it your way. I mean, this is idiotic. This is purely idiotic. I just don't get it, Stephen. I don't.
Did you hear the news? I think it broke yesterday or the day before about the national championship game.
I heard that it was the second most watched game ever. Had great ratings. Had phenomenal ratings.
Because everybody at ESPN and everybody out there, they always push the brands, the Ohio States, Georgia's, Alabama's, Notre Dame's, USC's, all of those teams. Everybody, we've been trying to say, everybody is so sick of the brand names being pushed down our throats. I think they finally, maybe, hopefully, saw the writing on the wall. Indiana and Miami are two non-traditional brand teams. 30.3 million people tuned in to the national championship game because we had new blood in the championship game. It is not all about your blue bloods and your brands anymore. We are sick of it.
I think we've been sick of it for a long time anyway, and it turned out to be such a great game. I
Yes.
think. Whoa, excuse me. I think
30.3 million viewers. That right there shows it.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing, Steven. There wasn't an SEC team playing.
No.
I mean, it's great. SEC, this is looking worse and worse for you in your argument of not extending the playoff, but that's neither here or there. You know, I want to throw this up and throw it in Florida State's face since I'm hating on everybody today.
Look, we're
But,
just telling the truth, man. I mean,
but
we're not
it is the truth.
truth.
Florida State voted against extending the playoff.
Yeah.
And what happened less than a year later? They
They
were
are-
left out of the playoff. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't believe in karma, Stephen. I just believe you do good. You should always do good. I don't believe in karma.
Yeah.
I do believe in grace. I believe in God's grace 100%, but I don't believe in karma. But look what Florida State did. They fought like we didn't want the SEC to have it. If we can't be happy, we don't want anyone to be happy. And so they vote against the playoff. And guess who gets left out of the playoff? Who's the first team out? Florida State. What is the SEC doing? Yeah, we want so many teams in the playoff. We're not going to extend it. We're not going to agree to it. You've already lost, what, the last two or three? Three? Wow. Last three national champions? Yeah, because you had Indiana, Ohio State, and Michigan. So, yeah. This is insane, Stephen. This is insane. If I just got out of a time capsule and popped into our show and we're talking about national titles and those three, it's like, oh, this must be some kind of basketball show. No, we're talking about football, everybody.
Yeah.
Indiana, Ohio State, and Michigan are your last three national, champions. I mean, this is insane. Hey, I will say this: Jim Harbaugh, phenomenal coach, won it with Michigan.
Yes.
Really built that team. We found out there's a lot of other things going on under the table and in the stands, and a lot of other stuff and technology and.
We won't go down that road.
Okay. Ohio State, great coach.
Oh, dude, that was an amazing football team once they got to the postseason, man.
Great staff.
Nobody was going to stop them. God.
They kind of limped into the postseason,
Yeah.
and then they turned it on. Beautiful. Yeah. And then you got Indiana. And let's just say, Stephen, I really thought they spent a ton of money in NIL. Indiana did not even finish in the top 25 of what they spent in NIL.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. Turn it up. Fact check me all you want to. Indiana did not spend in the top 25 of NIL money of college football teams this year.
And they did that.
They did not spend. I want to stress, did not spend anything that the top 25 teams did. They spent below what the top 25 teams did. Talk about evaluation and doing it. And Stephen, I was blown away with this in the national championship game. The lowest team to ever win a national title had like 44 5-stars on their roster. That was the lowest amount. And Indiana did it with like 6 or 8, and they weren't even 5-stars when they came out of high school. When they came out of high school originally, there were 0 5-stars.
Yes.
This is insane.
And
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm going to put this back up, so move your head, okay?
Well, you want me to hide?
No. Do not ever tell me that your team is not a traditional football team and that you can't have enough money to make it happen in college football. Indiana and Vanderbilt are proofs that you can in this era of college football. So no more whining about our school can't do it because we're just not a football school. Indiana's not a football school, and they are hosting the national championship trophy right now.
I kind of like being far away from you, so I'm gonna stay over here for a while.
But
Hey,
don't ever tell me that you can't do it because Indiana proved you can.
Stephen, I've made this joke for years, and I stole this joke from a Jimmy Buffett concert. The show's run on duct tape and dental floss,
Yeah.
just holding everything together. Um, I literally have a box from Amazon on top of a TV tray, along with my microphone, and I'm sitting in front of my fireplace, and
Yeah.
my TV tray is starting to wobble. So if it collapsed, you now know what happened. Either that or Snowpocalypse 2026 got me already. One
No,
or
it was
the
the
other.
earthquake, man. It was the earthquake from that
Dude,
Madrid.
don't joke about earthquakes in the Memphis area, man. We sit on a major fault line here.
That's
Don't
what I was
joke
getting,
about that.
that's what I was getting to, man. The whoo had a
Oh,
bad
geez
one back in
Louise.
the 1800s that made the Mississippi River flow backwards.
Yeah. I mean, it created a real foot lake
Yes.
there in Tennessee. So, yeah, feel free to Google up Reelfoot Lake as you're shut in all weekend due to wintry death 2026 and enjoy reading about all kinds of fun stuff. Hey, Steven, I got a question. It's just killing me. I got to ask you. What did you eat for your birthday?
Went to the Bright Star, and oddly enough, we did not request this. They set us in the Bear Bryant booth. It was in
Ooh.
the back, off to the side, in a very private location, and Bear Bryant always requested that seat because it was away from people and he would not be bothered by anybody. So Bear Bryant always did asked for that booth when he went to the Bright Store, and that's the booth that I got to sit in on my 38th birthday. That was pretty cool.
There you go. And what did you get to eat?
Snapper Almadine.
I can't even spare Almadine. What in the world is Snapper Almadine?
Snapper Almadine is a fried snapper with an almond crust.
Okay.
Dude, it was absolutely phenomenal.
I had crunch peanut butter dean for breakfast this morning. Yeah, I had some peanut butter Captain Crunch. It was awesome with a side
Gotcha.
of Dr. Pepper.
Right.
Has 23 flavors. It was wonderful.
Yeah. All right. So, Heath, just backstage, our guest has joined us. I'm going to run an advertising for our official show sponsor. We will come back and we will talk exclusively about the NFL playoffs right after this with Chris Myers. If I can get my computer to act right.
Oh, you hack.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do you a brisket blend. We'll do you a chuck blend. We'll do you a sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. It's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, ma'am, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show. There are 4 teams remaining in the NFL. You see them behind me. The Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, and the Denver Broncos. we are going to be joined by Chris Myers, who covers the NFL for Fox Sports, to give us a preview of the AFC and the NFC Championship games that are both on Sunday right now on this edition of the Stingray Show. And the two winners of these games will move on to face off 2 weeks from now in the Super Bowl.
Hi, this is Tim Brando with a reminder. Look out, you're about to feel the buzz of Stingray.
This is Stephen Ray, a.k.a. Stingray, coming to you live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I'm Heath Hopkins. I'm here in DeSoto County, Mississippi, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, Mark, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you feel that responsibility to pay it forward and give some kid a chance coming up in the ranks, kind of like Tony did for you?
Why do you think I'm talking to Stingray tonight?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, I mean, look, no.
Hey, Stingray, Here's the deal. When you get involved with Texas, it's like getting married to a stripper. and let me explain this. It looks good. It's kind of sexy on the surface. Yeah. But then you get the baggage, you get the drama, you get all that eventually comes with it. And that's what you get with Texas, and that's what the Big 12 learned.
And Heath, any thoughts on our show moving forward?
Hey, with the Stingray Show, if you don't like it, you better learn to love it, because it's the best show going today, baby. Woo!
And with that, we want to welcome you inside the real show of the Stingray Show, talking all things NFL with the AFC and the NFC Championship. And Heath, how about this? Out in Denver, Bo Nix goes down with an ankle injury. No problem. Former Auburn quarterback Jarrett Stidham will step in for Bo Wallace to take on his former team in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, Auburn, you could sit there and do this, silly things of drawing all the things that are like, what are Auburn's colors? Navy and orange. What about the Broncos? Oh, they're navy and orange, and they got two quarterbacks from Auburn and blah, blah, blah. That Denver defense is spectacular, and I want to get Chris's take on it. But, man, when you miss your quarterback, yikes, that's just bad. And in the other game, we're missing a star running back. I mean, I feel like the Rams and the Patriots are kind of getting a bye this round and kind of walking into the Super Bowl, kind of getting it a little bit easy. But you have to play the game on the field, and we've seen crazy things happen. So I will say this, Stephen, I'd rather have one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL, as my strong point of my team, rather than my quarterback being the best player on my team. So the Broncos have got a punching chance, but, man, that's tough, man. That's tough.
So let's go ahead and check in with Chris Myers, who is out on the West Coast, gearing up for the NFC Championship game between the Rams and the Seahawks. Chris, good morning, and how are things over on the West Coast of the United States of America?
We're good here. I think there is getting the iced out or froze so cold. I feel bad from one end to the other, but we've had our share of rain and drought in California. But I'm not sure what the weather will be like in Seattle. But I do know in calling games across the league, it's my favorite place to call a game because it's outdoors and the crowd. I think it's the loudest. I know Kansas City can make a case, and certainly dome stadiums like where the Saints play and where the Vikings play. But to me, having been there on the field for a playoff game and in the booth calling regular season games, there's a constant kind of a just vibration of audio that stays in your head even when you walk out of there. And that, are used to playing at Stafford as a veteran quarterback, but that could certainly have an effect in terms of just communication for such a complex offense.
Chris, I'll ask you a fun question when we get started. When I was a brand new media member straight out of college, I was covering Tennessee and Alabama, third Saturday in October. And I've always watched that game on television. That's one of the biggest games in the SEC every year. And the South does shut down to watch that game, or it used to. I was so shocked when I was on the field that the the ground constantly shakes the entire time during the game. What was that experience like for you? Or what's the best or biggest experience as far as loudness or just a single game atmosphere that was just so raucous that you love telling people that story?
Yeah, boy, that's a good one. I'm trying to think. Would be more. When you're up in the booth, even though you open the window and game, you might feel something, but the audio is something like being down on the field where you're staying, on the sidelines. Where I called numerous playoff games. I would say, New Orleans in a playoff game, the Saints in the days of Sean Payton, Drew Brees. It was so loud you couldn't hear yourself. Probably comes to my Minnesota more recently, but I got to say, Seattle. It's not. It just doesn't come and go. It's kind of like constantly there, and it almost reverberates because of the open back and forth. So even Seahawk defensive players have said that on defense you want the crowd because it makes the offense. They have trouble sometimes communicating their defense signals because it's so loud. Affects them as well as the opposing offense. So I could name one to mind, at least on an NFL level. And some of the college games I've done, I haven't done a whole lot of college down on the field, but when Fox had the BCS, we had some games where, it was certainly a little crazy in the SEC especially, that kind of jumped out, Alabama being one of those, Florida being another, the Georgia game. So, but I'm glad you mentioned for this NFL matchup, Zach Charbonnet is a key running back. And they've run the ball well with Kenneth Walker, and now I mean it's a lot of a load to carry against a good Ram defense. I think that's a factor. And you're right, even though Stidham is certainly capable, he hadn't thrown a pass really regular game in the last couple of years. So as good as Denver's defense is, their offense hasn't quite been. Bo Nix got pushed out of that, and I think they're going to miss him a lot. But Sean Payton is, he's had time to prepare, and I think he'll have a variety of run packages and schemes set up to kind of go against a good New England defense.
So, Chris, looking back over the entire season so far and the playoffs, what has surprised you the most this season on the field there in the NFL?
Well, number one, the emergence of Drake May, and maybe you guys saw something in him out of college, or you read things, you watched things. Couldn't tell a whole lot his rookie year, but having sat in meetings with him and called a couple of his games earlier in the year and then midpoint in the year, his development and grasp of what Josh McDaniels and the Patriots want to do offensively, and I don't think they have Stephon Diggs, an aging receiver, but they don't have a great array of wide receivers. They have a good 1-2 punch in the running game, and they use the tight ends very well. With Hunter Henry's kind of one of his favorite targets, but just that jumped out at me that this guy for a quarterback in the second year, to me, it looks like he's well on his way. And I'm not going to jump to conclusions like some people did with C.J. Stroud or even Bryce Young, positive or negative. But that certainly stood out to me. And I would say the two defenses, the Houston defense and the Seattle defense, there's a reason that they're number one in scoring, which is the most important stat. Yardage and all those other things, takeaways are nice, but it's what you give up in the points total. And I think that the front four of Seattle, without having to name them all, and the way that Mike McDonald, the head coach formerly with the Ravens, where he ran that offense, the way he gets the pressure he gets, and then is creative with some things. It doesn't have to blitz a lot, and they also dominate the line of scrimmage with the run. I mean, it's really impressive, no matter who they play. I had them against the Jacksonville team, and they had a great year, the Jags, and they just shut them down, and it was on the road. So those are two things that jump out to me through the course of the year. The teams that are in the playoffs, I think what a mess the Ravens were, what a mess Cleveland is with their situation. But Myles Garrett certainly had an outstanding. Got to call some of his sacks during the year on his way to the record sack. So the sack record. I'm sorry. So there was a lot to like, and there were some teams that just were very disappointing this year. And I think you got to throw in the emergence. Obviously New England, but we mentioned Jacksonville, but the Bears. I mean, their story, what Ben Johnson did in 1 year, shows you what great coaching can do with a capable quarterback and getting him to the next level. Kind of like what Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels are doing with Drake May.
So, Chris, let's go ahead and break down the AFC and the NFC Championship games. We will begin with the game that is on the CBS 2 p.m. It is the AFC Championship game, New England at Denver. Break that game down for us, please.
Well, the one thing that jumped out, and Denver's defense has been outstanding. I was surprised that Buffalo, in the last game, were able to run the ball on them as well as they did. James Cook's had a great season, but that's got to stop, or New England will just control the game. I mentioned, with Travion Henderson and Stevenson, it's a really good combination of running backs, and I would say that New England's offensive line, while it's getting better, to me, that's a key where I think Denver can take advantage. They're going to have to win this game with defense, given the quarterback situation. So to me, that's that side of the ball. On the other side, Denver's got to watch out. They just had a battle with Josh Allen, who could have easily won that game. Drake May is a very good runner. He's not the same kind of runner as Josh Allen, but he is not afraid to take off, run for a first down, break the back of a defense in certain coverages, and he's pretty smart about it. I mean, I don't think you'll see him, even though he's a young quarterback, flipping the ball around like that fumble with Josh Allen right before the half. So, yeah, I think Denver, as good as they'll play defense, and I think they'll have no problem with the New England receivers in terms of not shutting them down, but keeping them in check. And then just don't let the running game get going. And then, then you got to watch, because both of these teams are pretty good about time of possession and sustaining drives, and that limits what you have on offense. So that's kind of my nutshell overview of the two teams there.
So, Chris, in your opinion, for the AFC Championship, who moves on to the Super Bowl? Is it New England or is it Denver?
Well, I want to go Denver because I thought of them all along, but without Bo Nix, and it's just too great. I don't think they'll embarrass themselves, which is at this level. And New England is capable, and you saw what they did to C.J. Stroud. However, I don't think Stidham will be having such issues as Stroud did, just hanging on to the ball or throwing interceptions. I don't think Sean Payton will allow that scenario. And you also have Sam Ehlinger is back there, on that roster if they need to call in for some reinforcements. But I'm going to take New England. I think if it with Bo Nix played, it would have been Denver, especially playing it at home. But both of these teams, believe me, deserve to be here for obvious reasons. I know New England had an easier schedule, and the division wasn't as strong this year, whereas the AFC West was. And then now they catch this break. I think Denver will fight them, but I think the Patriots will win kind of in a low-scoring game. I think that's the way they want to play it.
Okay.
And looking at this NFC game, what's one thing you're really looking forward to, or what's something that's kind of jumped off at you researching this game as you prepare for it?
Yeah, well, one thing jumps out. I love the two, there's really three, but two wide receivers, the Puka Nacua, and how they use him. Running game, he's physical, he blocks when he catches. I mean, he plays a little bit of a DK Metcalf attitude, but kind of, uses that body, and but exceptional hands. So, I mean, the more I watch him and how Seattle will handle him along with Devontae Adams. And then on the other side, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I didn't know a lot about him through college. But boy, when they give him an opportunity, he's a game changer. I mean, he's almost uncoverable at times. And I saw that firsthand. So to me, now again, you could take receivers out of the game, and especially again, but it's going to take certain manpower or certain scheming, and that leaves something open elsewhere, I think. All right. So will tight ends here, Tyler Higbee, will he have a big day? Who steps up in that regard? I do think the way Seattle is running the ball with Kenneth Walker, and again, the Charbonnet injury, because he is a good 1-2 punch there. So if Walker could hold up, and we saw him just really explode against the 49ers, excuse me, I think that's kind of the key for them. Sam Darnold, there are still doubters out there, and look, he's not Matthew Stafford. That's a Ram advantage, clearly, but Darnold can move and is mobile. I think, we saw Stafford have some problems against Carolina defense, and then even last week with the Bears, throwing some interceptions and struggling early. So where this game will be won, the Rams, they're not playing their best, and I'm like, at this point, when are you going to? Whereas Seattle, I think, has found their stride and is playing their best. during the year, these two teams, one won by a point, the other one by 2 points. They're that close. I mean, this has an overtime stamp on it, I think, all the way. But I'm going to go. I think the Rams were my thought earlier, but I'm going to go with Seattle again. I think home field will come up as a factor here. I think Darnold will play it smart. Stafford may have a good game, and I don't leave out Kyron Williams because he's been very productive for the Rams. But I think the Seattle defense ultimately will be the difference in this, even though the Ram defense is a very good unit as well, as they showed when they needed to against Chicago.
Chris, a fun question, and I'm directing this toward the NFL. We had such a great college football season where a team in the top 10 always lost every week except week 10. The postseason of the NFL has been phenomenal. We have had so many great games. We had a lot of great college football playoff games. We've had nothing but great football here this 2025-2026 season. With that being said, do you feel like these championship games are might be a little bit of a letdown because some guys getting hurt here late?
Yeah, and that's the wear and tear of the season. I'm with you. It feels like, boy, and also did we get, I know New England, some people, there were some other, and Denver, we're not getting them at their best because of the quarterback injury. That's just the way it goes. But you do have the drama. I mean, to me, that's a real mystery. What if Stidham comes out and just does enough here to pull off the upset here or the win, even though they're the home underdog? What if he runs, and physically he's strong again? What if they do things we don't expect? And just the Drake May story. You have two of the guys who are usually an MVP of a season. They get there, but they don't seem to get to the Super Bowl or win it. I think Matt Ryan was one of those. But I think you do have Stafford and May. And if those two get to play each other, that would be exciting. It's funny. The only one of the Super Bowl possibilities that hasn't been a rematch in history, right? I think would be a Bronco-Rams Super Bowl, which is kind of what I was leaning towards before, but because of the injury, that affects things. But you're right about, boy, what a year. And the college football story, from nowhere to the championship for Indiana, and the great history, and the Miami story, and just what happened. And these playoffs have been great. There have been some strange officiating calls, but still, that doesn't take away the great athletic skill or plays by defensive players or receivers. So, yeah, this is kind of, but the NFL will surprise you. I do think the Seattle Ram game, and it's a little regional because it's all West Coast, but I do think that will wow people. The level of play, the kinds of plays you're going to see, especially in that Seattle stadium environment.
Chris, my final question for you, and it's a personal one. When the NFL season is over for you and Fox, you have a little downtime between NASCAR. What are you going to do during your downtime between football and then going to cover NASCAR?
Well, I'll push my book. That deserves a wow.
Absolutely.
And in the audio book, which people in the last year or so, and thanks, I know you guys were mentioning, I've enjoyed that. It's got a lot of football. It's got NASCAR. It's got some college football, some great drama in there. But I really don't have that much time. We were just doing some NASCAR promotional shoots.
Right.
And then we're going to be at the Clash is outside of Winston-Salem at that small little kind of a down-home grassroots track, Bowman Gray, which is only a quarter-mile track. But that'll be on the Sunday night before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then boom, I'll be up in San Francisco a little bit during the week, but Fox doesn't have the game, so I won't be working it on that actual Sunday. And then we're down to Daytona. You got the duels and setting it up, and of course they changed the clashes back in terms of points.
Yep.
And a great story with Daytona. Of course, you've got only one of the current NASCAR champions has won a Daytona 500. You got guys they're still looking for, like Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, that have never won. Brad Keselowski, who fell on ice and broke his femur, and it's supposed to be a 6-month recovery. He's trying to get back in. I talked to him the other day to race, and he's never won. The former champ of the sport, he's never won the Daytona 500 because he's going to try to race in the Great American Race, which will be a lot of fun. And I'm also, Fox has the Indy 500 again, and so doing that's later in May. So it's a lot going on before. But to the point a moment ago, the football has been so good. I got to be honest. I go through, even though I'm busy, I go through football withdrawals after the Super Bowl, after college football decides their champ. It's like I have to readjust my world
Right.
to what's going on. But thankfully, we do have some other sports that we can enjoy.
Chris, before we
Chris,
let you go, I got a couple of quick questions for you. My wife, or I should say my in-laws, used to, a hurricane took it, had a condo there in Daytona. And I never been to Daytona until I met my wife and we got married and we spent several summers there. What are some of your favorite places to go eat down Daytona? Because it's kind of a unique place and there's not that many
Yeah.
nice places, but there are some fun places to eat. So where's one place you really, or a few places you really look forward to when you head to Daytona that you always hit up?
Well, I guess I can't remember the name, but one of the locals there, one of the research guys who grew up in Daytona, I think he lives in Charlotte. Now, took me to it's on the like at the intercoastal. Well, there's a canal before you get to the beach on the Atlantic
Yeah, St.
side.
John's, the St. John's.
Yeah, yes, and then there's a neat little casual seafood place. It's really kind of a family, but you can sit outside or inside, and I mean they just they have great catfish, and I also worked in New Orleans, so I like things spicy. But their seafood there tastes fresh and is very casual. And then in there's a Hyde Steakhouse. I know it's a chain, but there is one that's right on the ocean, and they name a lot of the meals there after NASCAR. You can have like the Waltrip Burger or whatever. The Allison fries or so. That's for a chain. Good seafood and steaks there. You're getting you're getting a little bit of a localized influence. So those are a couple. A lot of the times, I got to be honest, we're at the track and they cater in food for us, and we're eating at Daytona or while they're while they're on the track getting ready for the 500.
And I noticed the Cubs jersey over your shoulder there. My next door neighbor, massive Bears fan, and I was pulling for Chicago in these playoffs just because of my neighbor. And I was so heartbroken how the game ended. It was such a great season and a fun season for the Bears. But is there one NFL team, because I get asked all the time, since we do an SEC show, who's got the best fan base in the SEC? I was like, it's definitely the Arkansas Razorbacks. Those people love those Razorbacks more than anything in the world.
Wow.
No matter what they do, they love them. What NFL team? Because I always feel like it's the Bears that people love the most from their city, or the Packers. But you know more than we do. You're around more than we do. What would you say to that question?
Well, that's a great question. And I see when I think of the fan base that goes, obviously the fans in that city are very loyal and supportive. But I think of the fan base, like you said, that goes well beyond that. A Bears fan in Alabama or a Buffalo Bills fan in San Diego. And I mean, that are diehards. And out in California, because they didn't have the NFL for that stretch of time when the Raiders and Rams left, it's funny how there's so many fans here that are NFL fans, but they're fans of other teams because of who they watched on TV before the Rams and the came back, and then the Chargers moved, and then the Raiders went to Vegas. So, but what jumps out at me. I would say Buffalo Bills fans to me. I mean, I've been around Bills Mafia. I've experienced that. And I hadn't early in my career. I hadn't been up there, and once I have been, but they got to be right up there with a lot of the fans you're talking about. But yeah, the Bears carry something special. Obviously, Steelers and Packers. There's part of that too. There are some West Coast fans. I think you have the 12s in Seattle, but that's the one that come by. And if I ever, in nonpartisan, rooting for a fan base, it would be or a team. It would be the Browns and the Lions to play in a Super Bowl, because those fans have never experienced that. And to me, that would be the ultimate. I know the Bills never won one, but at least they've been there. But those fans, they aren't as rabid, I would say, at least in the numbers that you were mentioning, but they certainly are loyal, and they've suffered for a long time. And I think Detroit, you talk about feeling bad for a Bears fan. Their window was so close. It looked like they were finally going to get there, and then they missed, and now they're going to have to reclimb back up in the division because the Bears and the Packers are ahead of them, and the Vikings will be around too. That's another fan base that's suffered is the Vikings. So that's one way I look at it, almost like Cub fans who finally got back to a World Series.
Chris, thank you as always. This has been a blast. Go and enjoy covering the NFC Championship with Seattle and the Rams. And man, we would love to catch up with you the week of Talladega here in Alabama to talk a little NASCAR, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'll look forward to that. And you got it. Let's count on it. You guys enjoy the playoffs. Thanks for having me on. It's always good talking to you.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you, sir. And next time we'll have to hit you up for another Bill Murray story.
Oh, yes. I got a few of them. There was a lot in the book, by the way, but I'll tell you, we got a lot of good ones.
There's some you do, brother.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. We'll talk to you later. All right. See ya.
Okay.
All right.
See you, Chris.
All right. Bye.
Man, that was an awesome interview right there. I really do want to thank Chris Myers for joining us from Fox Sports to talk about both the AFC and the NFC Championship games. And hey, he's even a little boogity boogity boogity. Let's go racing, boys of NASCAR.
Yeah, I've never been a NASCAR guy. I've never hated on it. I've had many close friends and family members,
Yeah,
massive NASCAR fans. So I would watch the highlights on Sports Center on Sunday just to keep up. And so I would sit there, and I would bring something random up. It's like, dude, did you see what so and so did in turn 3 the other day with 20 left? And man, they would go on a rant for 8 minutes. I can't believe he did that. When they went 3 wide, like you might as well be talking Swahili to me, because I know what 3 wide is, but
right.
they would get so in detail about it. And so and so, they need to fire whoever's in the pit over there. Did you see that? Yeah, no.
So yeah, but I'm kind of a casual NASCAR fan. 2 years ago, I did go and experience Talladega for the first time in the spring race, and I got to tell you, man, that was exhilarating watching a NASCAR race there in the stands. It was awesome.
Oh, I bet it was. I've been to the NASCAR Hall of Fame there in Daytona.
Yeah.
And I've been in there, and it's cool because whoever won the Daytona 500, they have to leave their car there for the year.
Right.
And so whoever won, their car is right there, and you can still see like the champagne stains on it and everything. And so it's cool because they don't clean it up.
Right.
They take it literally from the track and roll it into the museum right there. But there's movies or demonstrations. You can go in there and be part of the pit crew and change a tire, and they time you on it. I mean, it's crazy of all the stuff they've got in there. But really, really neat history. And for the folks that don't know about Daytona, and don't worry, we're not going to stay on NASCAR, but probably 8 more seconds here. They used to run half that race on the beach and then on the strip in Daytona. So if you go look that up, half the race was on the beach, half of it was on the street. Dude, how crazy is that?
Right.
Oh, he crashed. He's in the Atlantic now. I mean, what? That's insane. But yeah, they used to run that race on the sand, on the beach there in Daytona, and then run the other half on the strip, the pavement that's like the main busy street there. Insane that they used to do that.
So Heath, who do you have getting to the Super Bowl between the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos? That is one matchup, and then the Rams versus the Seahawks.
I grew up whoa, get me choked up already, Steven. I don't have my water with me. I grew up a Broncos fan. Finally got it out. I just don't think the Broncos can do it, man. I know they're playing at home. I know they got that awesome defense. I mean, you're missing your quarterback. And the defense didn't look good last week. Buffalo lit them up. I wish we had some more time with Chris. I'd ask him about the Bills firing their coach. And I mean, what are we doing here? He's about to – one play goes his way, and he's contending for the Super Bowl, but it didn't go his way. Now he lost his job, and I don't know, man. The Bills weren't all that consistent before McDermott got there. They were pretty consistent after he got there, and yikes. But anyway, I just don't see that happening.
That was a Jerry Jones move, in my opinion.
I mean, I wanted to ask him some of those questions too, but I didn't want Chris to be here until like next Tuesday.
Right. Well, I mean, he had another hit to get to at 10:30, so that's why we let him go.
But yeah, I just feel like the Patriots are going to win that game. I think they're going to go into Denver, and I think they're going to win. This is crazy to say, Stephen. A rookie quarterback is going to go on the road in a conference championship game, and we're going to predict him to win over a team that's playing at home with an awesome defense. That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, that's what we're looking at. On the other side of the NFC, I like the Seahawks. I like the Rams. I don't care for or against either one of these teams. It doesn't bother me. I know the Rams won it a couple of years ago and this and that. Seahawks have too, but I don't care. But I always go for the home team. So I'll take the Seahawks. What do you got?
I'm going with the rematch. I'm going with the matchup that we saw in the Super Bowl in 2015. That, of course, was the matchup where Malcolm Butler from West Alabama intercepted Russell Wilson's pass on the goal line with 20 seconds left. I'm going New England and Seattle in the Super Bowl for 2025. I'm sorry, 2026. 11 years later, we get that matchup again.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that's
going
fair.
the Seahawks and the New England Patriots.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I think the Rams are a better team.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Just playing at home. But Steven, let's break it down how I break down college football games. All right. Are you ready? Who's playing at home? We got to answer these questions. We get the first 2 out of 3.
Seattle.
So, Seattle's playing at home. Who has the better head coach, Seattle or the Rams? I'm going to go the Rams. He's won a Super Bowl before. I'm going to go that direction. And then who has the better quarterback?
Don't know.
I'd say the Rams. So maybe I need to change my prediction. So maybe I should go the Rams. I don't care. I'm not putting any money on this game. So yeah, I'll say the Patriots and Rams. But we'll go the other side. Who's playing at home? Broncos. Who has the better quarterback? Patriots. Who has the better head coach? I'd say Broncos.
Yes.
So, but man, I can't pick I want to pick the Broncos. I'll be cheering for the Broncos.
Yeah.
I just can't pick the Broncos, man. Without you're missing your starting quarterback, man. Yeah.
That hurts.
And just think if he gets injured in the first quarter. Like, think about that. Yeah, you're in the Super Bowl and a third string quarterback. Like, I don't even know who the third string quarterback is.
Right.
I'll use my free Google Pass before the game, and I'll look that up. But yikes,
Heath, what are you doing this weekend?
brother. I've bought everything at Kroger. I fought everybody off. I had to super kick them into the frozen meat section to get the last thing of bacon. I dropped an atomic elbow on an old lady just to get some Pop-Tarts. So, I fought my battles at Kroger at the K. Rogers. And we are stacked full of you name it. We got it. So we're going to sit in, batten down the hatches, and if it snows, we'll get out. I bought some sleds on Monday. So I've got 4 sleds over here for my 4 children. Should have bought some Robitussin. Maybe I need to go out and do that. But we're going to wait and see how much snow we get. But we have a family tradition, Stephen. And this is the great thing. No one tells you this. So for you younger folks listening, one day you'll get married. You'll have kids. It'll be wonderful, and you get to enjoy it. But you'll start doing random family traditions. Like, they don't make sense and this and that, but you just do it because it's something fun or funny. You had a great memory doing it once, so you decided to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
We went to the Chinese buffet one time after we played outside in the snow. It snowed outside. We played and played and played. The kids were hungry. I was like, you better keep playing. The snow's not going to be here tomorrow. So we played and played and played. Everybody was frozen. We load everybody up in the minivan. Everybody is starving. And it's like 3:34 in the afternoon. And so we were like, well, if we take them home and eat peanut butter and jelly, they're going to be wanting to eat at like 9 o'clock at night. We went to the Chinese buffet. Everybody just ate and ate. We had a blast. And so now every time snow comes, the kids want to go to the Chinese buffet. And they have been talking about it for 2 weeks now. Dad, are we going to go to the Chinese buffet? We're going to go to the Chinese buffet. They're even trying to hit me up like, Dad, we need the energy before we go out in the snow to go to the Chinese buffet. Can we go beforehand? I'm like, absolutely not. We will go afterhand. Because I don't want to be full trying to go down a hill and then trying to walk up it after I've had 3 plates of fried rice. Like, that's not going to happen. So, So that's what we get to have going. But Steven, my fun question to you: when you go to the Chinese buffet, what do you hit up first?
I don't eat at buffets and I don't eat Chinese.
Oh, Steven, you're not American if you don't eat Chinese. As I drop my phone.
Okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't eat Chinese, man.
Why not, man? You don't enjoy it?
Because they serve cats and
Oh, the cat and
dogs.
the rat's the best part, man. Eat the cat and the rat.
No.
If there was a Chinese buffet in some random town that I was traveling through, and the name of it was the Cat and the Rat, you better believe I would pull in there and eat it. I would try it. I was like, oh, if they can make cat and rat taste good, there ain't no telling what they can make taste good. I always laugh about the Jell-O. Like, why does the Piccadilly and the Chinese buffet always have Jell-O?
Right.
I never understood that, but my kids sure do eat it.
Heath, if you are a baker, which I am not, but if anybody listening or anybody's wife is a baker, today would be a good day to start baking because we are going to end the Stingray show with the National Day of Today, and I'm going to talk about one thing and one thing only. And no, this is not the math thing. Today is National Pie Day. Not the math pie, but an actual pie that you eat. Today is National Pie Day.
I thought that was always on, yeah, that day. No. Whoa. Did not hit my cough button in time. I always thought that was on March 14th because 3-14.
I'm sure
pie.
that's when the real pie is, but I'm talking about the eating pie.
Yeah. Oh, so we are talking about the eating pie?
Yes.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the other pie.
No.
Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
So, Heath, to wrap up the Stingray show, what is your favorite pie of all time?
Man, that's a good one, Steven.
I would have to go chocolate peanut butter.
Well, I was thinking like chocolate silk because that's
Right.
always good.
Yeah.
But if you ever have peanut butter pie, that's amazing.
Yes.
But for my birthday every year, a sweet lady in town who does a lot of baking, she bakes me a key lime pie, and I love me some key lime pie. So
Right.
it depends on what mood I'm in. But if I'm on death row, I'm probably going to get me a slice of key lime pie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to get me just one more slice of key lime pie. But man, Steven, I hate the cold. Snowpocalypse 2026 is here.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with this, man.
I know.
I don't want to deal with this. Any advice if I get snowed in?
Watch a lot of football or watch a lot of movies.
What if we lose power and I'm snowed in? I got
You
4
always
kids.
have your cell phone, man. You always have your cell phone.
I'd be scared to use it. It's like I don't know how long the power is going to be out. I probably wouldn't use it.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to charge it up here shortly, and I think they said we're starting to get snow around 6.
Right.
So,
Hey,
Steven, I do have this is a weather question. I do have to ask you this. Why is it that the weather changes like 5 times every day? They predict something and they keep changing it, and it'll change like if this was spring or summer and my kids had a baseball or softball game on Thursday at 6. Oh, we were supposed to be getting rain on Thursday. Thursday morning, we're going to get rain. Oh, that game's probably going to be rained out on Thursday. Oh, it's going to be afternoon showers. Oh, that game's probably going to be rained out. And then we get to the day of the game. It's like, yeah, it might be this afternoon. Or, hey, it could be tomorrow. Well, it might miss us. Like, I know weather's always changing. No one can predict it accurately. No one's never been able to do that. But why is it that we change it like 5 times a day?
because we have new model runs that come in at different times during the day. We've got one that comes in at 6 a.m. We've got a batch that comes in at noon, 6 p.m., and then midnight. So that's why.
On these model runs, is it one of those things where, oh, it could do it at 2 or it could do it at 6? Like one model says 2.
Yes.
So now we still don't know.
And
one says it could be 2, one could
basically,
say 6.
what you have to do is it's a guessing game, and you have to put the blend of the models together. Because if you zero in on one, it could or could not be correct, and it can burn your forecast. So it's like putting a puzzle together that is very erratic. So that is why there is a wide range in the weather forecasts all the time, is because you have to do a group consensus of what the models actually say. Because you've got the GFS, you've got the NAM, you've got the European model, you've got the Canadian model, you've got all of these different model runs that are putting out different times and different weather predictions. So yes, it is not an exact science.
So basically, you're picking lottery numbers. And no one ever wins.
And that's why it is so much easier to predict a severe weather event in the South, because we have them more often. Because when you try to predict a winter weather is set up like we're about to have, if you blow this forecast, you may not get another opportunity to get it right for 2 or 3 more years, because they're so rare down here in the South. That's why you've got to be on point with your forecasts, because with severe weather, 2-3 weeks later, you could have another system come in that could have a tornado risk with it. But with snow, they are so few and far between down here, you better get it right, because you may not get another opportunity for the rest of the season to make your prediction right again.
Wow. Okay, there you go. I mean, Stephen, think about the show today. We've talked about baking. We've talked about Canadian weather reports.
Yeah.
We've talked to Chris Meyer. We've talked a lot of NFL.
Yes.
We've talked about the beach and places we like to eat in Daytona. We've talked about NASCAR. We hardly talked about SEC today.
We did in the first. We did the first,
Yeah,
because
we did.
you were talking about, you were blaming them for all of the issues in college football.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about TV ratings. We talked about TV ratings. We talked about my neighbor fighting another person over some milk at Kroger. I mean,
yeah,
we talked about a lot of fun stuff today. It usually 99.89% of the time, this is all SEC. Today, we were like 10% SEC.
Yeah. And
Stephen, you if you had a weather prediction, you got the prediction wrong on today's show, because we didn't talk about the SEC. We have a strong chance that we're going to talk about the SEC on Friday's show, and then we didn't do it.
Right. Heath, let me also say this. We wrapped up the Stingray show talking about our favorite pies as well.
Yeah. Man, I'm just telling you, it's going to be crazy. Stephen, I got an embarrassing story. I'm going to leave on a fun story for you, all right? Okay. Are you ready? All right, so me and my wife, we went out to the store Wednesday night. We didn't go to church Wednesday night. We went to the store. We did most of our shopping. We got just about everything we needed. There's like 2 or 3 things. It was actually more than 2 or 3 things that we didn't get or were running low on normally. It wasn't things that we had to have for the storm coming up. But anyway, my wife did the little Walmart run where they bring it to your house and this and that. She called it in and ordered it, whatever. Ordered it on her phone. They bring it to you. So anyway, we were our back door is having problems, and I need to go buy another doorknob. But it was like jamming on us.
Right.
I got to replace the doorknob. So this is not anything that has to do with the winter storm. So my wife calls me and she goes, "Hey, I just thought about this. I didn't get any bacon. How much is it left?" And I said, "I ate the last 2 pieces this morning. We have no bacon left. Like, we could get by the storm without any bacon. No problem." She goes, "Well, let's go on and get some just because we're closed in, because I might want to cook breakfast one morning." I'm like, "All right, great. I'll go get some bacon." So I went and got bacon, and I'm looking for my door piece. So yeah, I'm not really liking my options here at Walmart. I'm gonna go somewhere else. And when I was walking out, there's a display of beer right there.
Oh no.
Yeah, they had the 24 pack of Miller Lite and Coors Light right there, stacked together for like $22. So I said I don't drink beer. I'm not a big beer drinker. Like I tell the story on the show all the time. I buy like a 6 pack of beer start of football season, and usually by the end of football, because that first game on Thursday night, I'm having a beer and some French onion dip and some Ruffles, and I'm enjoying football.
Right.
And then at the end of the season, I've got anywhere from like 4 to 5 beers left of that 6 pack. Like I had one beer the entire college football season. Like I just don't drink it. And so I sat there and I was like, there's one beer in the fridge. There's one beer. And I know that my neighbor is going to be cooking out. And I know what kind of beer he likes. Or I shouldn't say cooking out. He's going to have a campfire out with the kids playing in the snow. He does it every year. He's a wonderful – he's the Bears fan. He's going to have his fire pit out while the kids are playing. You get too cold, you can go up to Mr. Rob's fire pit and warm up. So, I'm going to get a little something for Mr. Rob, because he does this for the kids. I'm going to do a little something. So I get the 24 pack. I put it in my cart. Now, people are panic shopping, Stephen. They're fighting for milk. There's blood in the aisles over bread. They're buying the strawberry Pop-Tarts. And here I am walking around Walmart with bacon and beer. And I think I saw everybody from church, the PTA, and the ball field when I was trying to leave. They're like, we're just here to get the essentials. We're trying to hurry up. Yeah, I'm done with mine. I got a 24 pack of beer, 2 packs of bacon. What else you need? I thought it was like the most Jerry Springer thing ever.
Yeah.
What am I going to say? No, this is for my neighbor. No. So I just owned it. I was like, yeah, let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
Bacon beer. What else you need during the snowstorm, man? So
That's awesome. All right. Heath, briefly, before we get out of here, you talked about a funny story. I'm going to share this with you guys, and obviously this can change between now and then, but this is the scariest part of this snowstorm, storm that's coming up. Right there, I don't know if you can see it, but South Haven, Mississippi, half an inch to a quarter of an inch of ice.
I hope we don't get any ice, but I got a feeling we are.
Yep, and then you can see from that swath from Corinth all the way down to Greenville, Greenwood, Oxford, and Tupelo, 1 to 2 inches of ice accumulations. Guys, that is crippling. So if you are in the swath, basically from South Haven and Memphis all the way down to the Highway 82 corridor, I would prepare right now for prolonged power outages and horrible infrastructure issues due to the accumulation of ice that runs through 6 a.m. on Tuesday.
Stephen, do you happen to have a map of like just north of us, like Tennessee and Arkansas? I see like DeSoto County, Tate County, the top northwest corner in the red right there, as you were mentioning. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But what about right above us?
Yeah, I can do a map of that. Give me a second. I have to pull it up because that comes from the National Weather Service in Jackson, and the National Weather Service in Memphis put out one for their area as well. They've got winter storm warnings and ice storm warnings for all of you guys. Let's see. What did you want? Do you want ice accumulations, Heath, or do you want snow?
I was actually going to look at both because I see the ice accumulation, and I know that right above us they're expecting snow, and I wonder how far it's going to be, because if the line is like midway through Shelby County and the storm shifts down, we might miss that ice and get snow. If the storm moves up, I'm going to be getting more ice. If the storm moves north, I see that folks below me, like in Clarksdale and in Oxford. In Clarksdale, they're looking at almost an inch, and in Oxford and Tupelo and Corinth, they're looking at 1 to 2 inches. So I was just wondering. I was like, man, I don't want this because the storm shifted north
Right.
here earlier. That took the snow out and put ice on us. I was wondering, I was like, man, if the storm shifts and goes back down
All right.
south, how far? How
Here's
much snow is
here's the
gonna be?
snow. You can see up
Oh,
Jonesboro, Arkansas, 4 to 6 inches.
dude, I've been
And
saying it for years. I will say it every time on the show. They get the worst tornadoes. They get the
yeah,
worst thunderstorms. They get the worst drought. They get the worst snow. Jonesboro, Arkansas, and
yeah.
Dyersburg, Tennessee get the absolute worst weather on the planet Earth.
All right. So that's the snow, and you can see up there, even in the boot heel of Missouri, 8 to 12 inches of snow.
Yeah, I am
So
looking at. So if this storm shifts south just a little bit,
you're going to get snow, and
yeah.
if it
Well,
shifts
say it
north
right here. Just looking at it, that I'm right on the verge of getting 3 to 4 inches of snow,
or ice,
or 1 to 2 inches.
yeah. And here's your ice accumulation right there. Holly Springs is at 0.74 of ice.
And I'm really hoping this storm shifts south just a little bit.
Yeah, because see
And
right there.
if the storm shifts south, I'll get more snow than ice.
Yeah,
And sadly, Dyersburg, Tennessee, and Jonesboro, Arkansas,
yeah,
will get tons more snow.
yeah.
So I guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
So I mean, you're right there on the line, but buddy, it's gonna be close, dude. And of course, for us here in West Alabama, all we're gonna get is rain.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain yesterday.
Right.
So yeah, K Bug's chiming in. Hey, K Bug's going to get some Pabst Blue Ribbon and watch a little Godzilla.
No,
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And speaking of that, Pabst Blue Ribbon has partnered with Godzilla, and that was the actual thing that I had put up behind me earlier this year. Pabst Blue Ribbon they partnered with Godzilla for the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, and so now they have beer cans with Godzilla on them.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Have you not watched our show over the last 5 years? We need a sponsor, and I would love to hang a nice big Pabst Blue Ribbon sign behind me, or
Yeah.
Godzilla, or both. Steven, you need to send this clip off. I mean, we've got viewers to like pull up Case chiming in that you're gonna get some Pabst Blue Ribbon and watch Godzilla here in the snow and ice here in the South.
Yeah.
Steven, you are the biggest Godzilla fan that I know.
I am.
And you know what, Pabst Blue Ribbon, I'll tell you a fun story so you could really think long and hard about this. Back in my college days, it was the 1900s, I know, but we go down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, 1996 Mardi Gras. And we're down there, and this limo, it's Friday night. We just got there. We just got to our little, we couldn't afford Motel 6. We do have to do Motel 5. Oh, look at that, Steven. Look at that.
That's what the case looks like. And then on the cans itself, they've got this one, and then they've got the individual monsters as well from the Godzilla series.
Impressive.
Yeah. So they
Very
partnered
impressive.
with Godzilla and Toho for the 70th anniversary that was last year.
Very, very nice. So, but we're in New Orleans, Mardi Gras. We just checked into the Motel 5 because we couldn't afford the Motel 6 because we're just cheap college students. We're walking to the quarter. This limo drives by us. It's cold. It's very frigid. This limo drives by us. Out steps Waylon Jennings and walks in to the Walgreens. The limo just parks right there in front of it. And we're in the quarter, And so, I mean, you know how those streets are. There's not a parking lot. You're there. Walks in, comes back out 45 seconds. That was probably about 90 seconds, really. Probably less than 90 seconds because he was in there super fast and he got right back in there. So We'll just say he's in there roughly a minute. How about that?
Right.
Less than 90 seconds. Comes out with a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Actually, I don't think it was a 6-pack. I think it was the tall boys. I think it was like the 4-pack tall boys. And I remember sitting there thinking, because when he got out of the limo, I was like, that guy kind of looked like Waylon Jennings. And we got a little bit closer when he was walking back out. I mean, Steven, he was 8 feet away. He's probably closer than that. I was like, that is Waylon Jennings. Oh, my gosh. And so, my buddy was like, Waylon. He's like, hey, boys. That's Waylon Jennings. Gets in his limo and drives off with his Pabst Blue Ribbon. His 4 tall boys there.
Right.
If Pabst Blue Ribbon's good enough for Waylon Jennings to drink at Mardi Gras, by God, it's good enough for everybody on every single day of the week. So there you go.
And Heath, let me also say this. You are going to be like Clark Griswold going, later, dudes. Later, dudes. And
I did buy the Circle Saucer sled. I did buy that. And I have looked for some grease to put on the bottom of it.
Yes.
Is that the silicone that Clark W. Griswold did with the food preservatives at his business? But, I am going to try to break Clark W. Griswold's land speed record going down the hill.
Dude, as we leave, you got to give us one of his iconic later dudes, okay? Try to do it, man.
Well, when I'm going down the hill, you want to do a video and put my hood on? Later, dudes. And
Dude, come on, you got to do it with Flair. Later, dudes.
I've never played with AI. I think I'm going to do that here in a minute. I'm going to try to play with that and come up with that video and send you something. But hey, Pabst Blue Ribbon, please come be our sponsor.
Yes.
We will Godzilla the mess out of that and hype that, and you will be very happy, and we'll see a nice return.
Yeah.
We're an SEC show. They love us in the SEC.
All right.
Hey, Duke Boys, Waylon Jennings, the Stingray Show. That's a winning combination.
Yep. Heath, we have been all over the place this morning. That is what you get with the Stingray Show. It has been a blast. Go and enjoy all of the winter weather festivities, because we're going to be stuck down here in the South with nothing but rain in West Alabama. Heath, be safe, and hopefully for you, you will have power on Monday to do another show with me, as we will be joined by a former Alabama defensive lineman. Kendall Moorhead will join us on the Monday edition of the Stingray Show. Heath, we will be going earlier on Monday because I know that cuts into your schedule when we do late. So Monday we're going to be back at 8:30 or 8:15 our normal time, and we will see you on the Monday edition of the Stingray Show. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and especially the AFC and the NFC Championship games. And Heath, I've got to ask you as we walk out the door, it is Friday. Are you having your fried bologna sandwich today?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it over there, but if I do, I just might get to.
Dude, go have one for me, okay?
I'll try, man. Brother, I got so much stuff I got to do. I got to batten down the hatches for the storm here. So, yeah, it is what it is, brother.
To all
Apocalypse, wintry death 2026. We're all going to die.
To all of you in North Mississippi, and especially the family of Ole Miss 365, including David Johnson, make sure you guys prepare for a crippling ice storm. And as they always say, prepare for the worst, but hope for the best, just in case, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And hopefully we will catch you on the Monday edition of the Stingray Show with a former Alabama football player.
And if you can't get all your essentials at the grocery store, just go buy bacon and beer, and you'll run into everybody at the church, the ball field, and the PTA, and you'll just look like you're ready to go on Jerry Springer any second.
Yes. You crack me up, man.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and Godzilla. I'm getting choked up thinking about it. What'd you do this weekend? I had me some bacon. I watched me some Godzilla, and I had some Pabst Blue Ribbon. What the hell did you do?
Watch the
That
NFL,
sounds like a
man.
great weekend.
I watched the NFL. See you, buddy.
See you, bud. Stay safe and warm.
For over 100 years, the Bank of Moundville has been a name clients can trust. The Bank of Moundville is more than just a bank. They're your neighbors, your friends, and your community partners. Their unique approach to financial education has always centered around families. They believe that financially strong homes today lay the foundation for a brighter futures for tomorrow's generation. You can call them today at 205-371-2227. Once again, that is 371-2227 to schedule an appointment to build your financial security. The Bank of Moundville is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. It's a new year, and now is the best time to review your insurance policies. With a helpful customer service team here to serve you in Alabama and over in Mississippi. For all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs, call the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha Insurance to create a customized plan to protect your family's home and autos. You can stop by his office at 3428 McFarland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, or simply call 205-462-8192, or call the number on your screen right there. And remember, with Alpha Insurance, the more you protect it, the more you save. Reach out to the Jeff Nee Agency of Alpha today for all of your auto, home, life, and business insurance needs. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Ferguson of South's Finest Meats, the official sponsor of the Stingray Show, has a message for you.
Everything we do here is fresh and custom made, custom to order. I tell people when they come in, if you don't see what you like, ask somebody. We've got the capability to process it, make it. If you want a different blend of hamburger meat, we'll do your brisket blend. We'll do your chuck blend. We'll do your sirloin blend. We do all that right here. We are a butcher shop. It's what we do. So please don't be afraid to ask if you don't see what you like. We can make you any size patty you want. We can make you any amount you want. People call me and say, well, how many patties come in the box? Well, ma'am, how many would you like in a box? You want 12, we'll put 12. You want 25, we'll put 25.
That's just one of the many things that South's Finest Meats has to offer, the official butcher shop of the Stingray Show. And guys, briefly, I cannot leave the Stingray Show without telling you about the Velvet Ditch, who is also a sponsor of Ole Miss 365, right there in Oxford, Mississippi. They have refreshing and flavorful craft cocktails. They have premium ocean fresh seafood, 35 large QLED screens for all of the games, and especially this would be a good weekend to go with the AFC and the NFC Championship games. Sip the night away while you savor their Cajun flavor and experience the best seafood restaurant and sports bar in the South. That is the Velvet Ditch, right there on the corner of the square in Oxford, Mississippi. We thank them for being a partner of Ole Miss 365, and we will see you on the Monday morning edition of the Stingray Show, and thank you for watching this episode. Stay safe, everybody.